So last night our D&D session had an enthusiastic discussion about movement in D&D 5th edition. And the question is whether moving becomes running when you dash, when you move instead of taking an action, or when your action is an extra move. Now that doesn't matter as far as the mechanics are concerned. Humans move 30 feet and do a thing in their turn, or they move 60 feet in their turn, and that's fine. But it does matter if we're creating a story. So characters pelting down the street at full pace is dramatic, and in a town it's notable to civilians and militia, whereas characters sauntering along it at normal pace without stopping to hit things or inspect things is not. So one way of thinking about this is that in the 6 seconds, some time is taken up moving and some taking an action. And typically when we play, the player moves the character, takes an action, then finishes the move available. So since an action can be replaced by a move, it makes sense that they are about equal in length, so about 3 seconds each. And a move therefore takes about 3 seconds to cover 30 feet, which is about 10 kilometers per hour, 7 miles per hour, or 2 megafurlongs per fortnight, which is already faster than a walk. And if we take that model for it, then both moves are at the same speed. Right? You've got to move a certain distance in 3 seconds, or move the same distance in another 3 seconds. Both of those are the same speed. But another way of thinking about this is that the movement takes the whole period, and at the same time we do other things like examine our surroundings or make an attack. So now a move takes about 6 seconds to cover 30 feet, which is about 3 miles per hour or marching pace. And we could say then that a move is a jog, and you're too busy jogging with your legs to do anything else with your arms or your eyes or your brain, which doesn't make sense. But it also doesn't make much sense mechanically, as it means an attack while moving only happens while you're in that adjacent square, which is 1 second in this character's move. An attack, nominally, is supposed to be the outcome of a collection of feints, parries, thrust strikes, and general purpose poking with a pointy stick. So this doesn't make sense. 6 seconds of attack if you don't move should give you more attacking. Steady aim is a character feature that provides this, but let's face it, this should be a feature of any non-moving action. The British Army deliberately stops to fire, no matter what level the soldier, precisely because better aim is a feature of not moving, much more than it is a feature of skill. But then D&D fighting doesn't really have anything to do with the real world. It's a game mechanic, so we can gloss over it. But if we treat it just as a game mechanic, then we easily end up just grinding hit points. A wizard moves a bit till we get line of sight, a thing happens, the victims roll a dice, add a number from their stat block, and if that gets above a value, they take a number off their hit points, and if they don't, they take double that, until all their hit points are 0, and we tidy them off the board. Or a wizard sneaks up till she can just see them, launches a ball of fire. Now their victims hop about, getting out the way of the bigger burning strands. Some of them don't make it and expire gruesomely and in fire. The others prepare for an attack. Now everything is on fire. The smell of charred green, whatever these things are, fills the nostrils, and their screams fill the ears. It's all terribly dramatic and terrible. That sounds a bit more fun than just going, oh, you've got a few hit points left. Anyway,